Benvenuto at Popcorn and Paint, where I talk about movies and shows while doing speed paint. Today's movie, we're going to be talking about Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
It does not look good.
Everywhere All at Once is a 2022 American science fiction comedy by the Daniels. The story centers around a main character, Evelyn, who is apparently terrible at everything and who finds herself in the midst of a crisis in numerous aspects of her life simultaneously. Her life already seems very chaotic and she's clearly unhappy throughout the movie. While Evelyn is organizing a New Year's and Welcome to America celebration for her dad, who just arrived from China, her filthy laundry company is on the verge of becoming bankrupt. The IRS is auditing her, and as far as she's concerned, the IRS inspector, Deidre, is a bitter and horrible person, even though technically, she was the one trying to swindle the IRS. But anyway, Evelyn already starts to cave in to all the pressure around her, and on top of that, her daughter is begging for her attention, and also wondering if her new girlfriend Becky will be accepted by the family. During these wild early episodes of her seeming mental collapse, her husband Wayman starts to act weird, and her husband is like the sweetest person ever. She's visited by this alternate version of him from another universe called the Alphaverse, and in that universe, this Waymond is called Alpha Waymond, and he gives her like these rapid fire instructions while she's at the IRS office talking to the woman with her family. He's explained to her in the most comedic way possible to, make you not take him seriously, that there is in fact a multiverse and shit's about to go down and she should take it very seriously. His job was to find the one Evelyn that has many different possibilities or that can essentially save the entire reality. Somehow, he thinks it's her, and he tries to prepare her in this rapid-fire way to verse jumping. This basically means that she's going to be jumping into the minds of bodies of other versions of herself in other universes so that she can acquire their skills for the universes that she's a part of now.
Sorry, that's a bit confusing.
So for example, if I wanted to learn how to disarm a bomb or fly a jet, I would jump through the universe and search for an alternate version of myself in the endless pool of possibilities of how my life could have gone, which includes me having evolved into a dragon until I find one that would have learned those skills. I jump into that mind and body, and I am there in their universe and my universe at the same time, tethered by my consciousness so that I can learn and be able to perform the stuff that they know. Oh, but get this. You have to do something crazy like give yourself paper cuts or eat lipstick or jump in the air with your legs split wide open so gravity can pull you down all the weight of your body, ballsack, and ass onto a dragon-sized phallus-shaped trophy. In that way, you can engage and go into the body of another version of yourself so that in this universe you can actively know martial arts or whatever skill you need to do while that trophy is still stuck in your ass. I know it sounds insane, but that is what happens in this movie. I don't know what determines which of these are shocking, though. I mean, do they have to do something shocking to them, or do they have to do something that would be perceived as shocking to the other person? Or maybe it's just for that universe? The zany jokes and action segments are quite the experience, and I will say what really sells this movie is not the coherence of everything, because don't even look for that, but it's the dissonance, chaos, visual appeal, and the nihilism. The second half of the film, Evelyn's job is to try and mend her family. And that honestly just seems to come out of nowhere. I know there were already problems, but with how everything seems, it just seemed as though it was going to be focusing on her saving the world. But then it turns into a mission to save her family, sort of, to save the world. And it's something that she has to do in order to rescue the multiverse or the entire universes or collective universes where she exists. Because in some other universe, Evelyn apparently pushed her daughter so much that she became super powerful and super evil, and this monster is known as the Jobutupaki, a nihilistic being who destroys universes with her black hole, everything bagel force field that absorbs realities, or every reality she wants it to. I was actually half expecting it to be some kind of dragon creature or something that can take human form, but no, it's just basically her daughter. I really like the whole nothing matters theme and her daughter trying to figure out an alternative to what she was doing, or at least the alternate daughter was trying to figure that out. She also does a very good impression of that. She kind of reminds me of the villain who takes the feminine form. I don't know the actor's name, but she was in Legion. I think her name was Lenny.
That bitch's secrets have secrets.
She just gives me those vibes. Anyways, across all of time and space, she was still searching out for her mom to help her make sense of this and to convince her that something does matter. Near the end, Evelyn's husband, Waymond, who is very kind and doesn't want to fight, tries to convince her not to fight anymore and that everyone should just stop fighting. So Evelyn uses all the power that she has now from the alternate universes to fight people with kindness and love. Literally. It's kind of like a scene from Out of Little Nicky. She taps into the things that give them dopamine levels and happiness and fulfillment and either provide it to them or performs it on them. And when I say she performs it on them, I swear to God. There was a scene of a guy coming after her to kill her, and she transformed his scissor into a gag and then she bent him over and spanked him. That's not me. That's what the movie does. Throughout all this, Evelyn realizes that everyone around her exists as well, and she ends up telling her daughter that because there's so many other places that she could be in response to when her daughter was asking why she would be wasting time staying here with her. The time that she spends with her daughter, as she says, means even more to her because of that, which I guess is the point of nihilism in a sense. Nothing matters, yes, in the grand scheme of things. There's no larger purpose or huge wheel spinning, and I guess a lot of religious people would ask atheists or people who don't believe in God, then what is the sense of being good if nothing matters, or if you're all just gonna die anyway and there's no afterlife or hope and blah blah blah? To which the answer would be, things especially matter if that's the case, because that would mean that this is all you have. This is the only life or experience you'll ever have. So it matters to you and to the others around you, and so you treasure it and keep it precious. It's basically the same thing as saying that, oh, well, dogs don't have souls and we're not going to see them in the afterlife, so just kill them off. Like, that doesn't make sense. We especially love our animals and our dogs because their lives are so short, and if you really believe this is all they're ever going to have or this is all there'll ever be, it's more of a reason for you to treasure this. You'll never have another dog like your dog. Even if you get another one, they'll never be the same. That experience and love you have for your individual pets are always going to be specific to those individuals. Having a life and experiences doesn't lose meaning because a person is going to live afterwards or be alive afterwards. In every single one of those universes, a different Evelyn had a different uniqueness. Despite any choice that she made, there was only ever going to be one type of that Evelyn no matter what. We should be happy with the life that we have, because if somebody were to be everywhere all at once, it would simply be too much and nothing would have any value, and so the fun would be lost. I remember when I would use cheat codes or hack a game to get unlimited supplies and resources and health, and it was really fun. It made me feel like God to all those mobs that I was just hacking down with like one touch. But very shortly after, and I mean minutes after minutes of playing with the cheats, I got so freaking bored. I started feeling like this resentment, and I actually started to regret having used the cheats for the fact that I could just so easily kill something. There's no sense of fulfillment or achievement or victory or meaning or value to the game anymore. If I want something, oh, whoop-de-doo, I could just go get it. Huge ass, big ass, buck naked T-Rex is coming. I don't know why I said that. Freaking boss, like end game level boss coming after me, and I'm just like, please, just shoot you once and I have unlimited maximum power, so you just blow into smithereens. Nothing is scary anymore, you know, because I can just kill her, it doesn't hurt me. It's why, in some cases with survival games, I don't like to play survival mode. So now I know how Saitama feels, huh? And that's how Joy became the villain of the movie. She became everything everywhere all at once. She was hurting because she couldn't feel or nothing mattered, and she was probably bored out of her mind. Such an interesting concept, and how they also tackle the universe hopping part. That, the only thing I've seen this close to this is the TV show Severance, which is what it reminded me of, especially with the elevator scene. But yeah, it was an interesting concept, and I won't say that they portrayed their message perfectly. I get it, to a lot of people, it's gonna come off feeling chaotic and nonsensical, and they're gonna feel like they wasted their time. But for someone like me who likes to just have all this stimulation, like extroverted stimulation and all this weird, the concepts, I like the concept. A movie can be bad. I don't really know if this movie is good or bad. I feel like it was an experience. Like, it could have been portrayed a bit better. It felt very rushed in some places, and I guess people can argue that they were trying to do that on purpose because that's how it feels to the characters, and that's why I say it's less of a movie and more of an experience. This felt like a music video, or if you go to a VR experience, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. You wouldn't really say it's like a film per se. It's more like a VR experience. Like, what if this happened kind of concept. It's kind of like that, like a movie that's just what if. That's just my take on it. And yeah, I enjoyed the experience. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. Anyways, as for my doodle, it is called, under the trailer, Dallas and Annette. Now, this may not seem familiar to those who are new to the channel, but on my other channel, Altiori, where I started this whole speed paint thing before I decided to move it over here because it would be better dedicated so the algorithm doesn't get confused, I started the story of Dallas and Annette. They're my original characters, and if you follow along the speed paints, you will get an interesting story. So, here is the story for the doodle. Finally getting some time alone, Dallas spends a night under a trailer with his new female, Annette. Annette can feel his firm muscles against her sides. She feels safe with him, and he is enraptured with the beauty of her smell. Nervous, as this was her first time this close and alone with a male, Annette shyly tucked her fluffy red tail beneath her. Dallas licked her face and then her back, all the way to the tip of her tail. As he was gently nuzzling her side, overcome with nervousness and eagerness, Annette lay down and showed her belly, impatiently waiting for Dallas to make the next move. He was experienced after all. For most of the night, Annette found herself falling deeper and deeper as Dallas lost himself in her. On the outskirts of Dallas's neighborhood, it was silent. It was a kind of silence that felt ancient. A silence that was not truly silence, but a harmonious choir of the world's ambience. Joining that ambience was a deep, peaceful breathing of Annette, his beautiful female who would soon bear his offspring.